following Kara Swisher on this program is a very, very cool moment for me. I admire her reputation as a tech journalist. I respect her no-nonsense attitude. Obviously, I'm a fan. So when I saw her interviewing the other night with a recognizable pair of headphones on, I literally said out loud, if anyone would know which pair of headphones to buy, it would be Kara Swisher. She has, what, 3 of the top 10 podcasts right now? And obviously, yes, that's exactly how influencer marketing works. A brand shows up in a contextually relevant way, somewhere its prospects are already spending time watching or listening to content created by someone they already respect or admire or laugh along to. That someone, that influencer, already has a special, nuanced relationship with that person, one that the headphone brand could never dream to have, at least not at the radical scale I'll be talking about. The point, of course, is that whatever marketing the headphone brand was up to, it was made more effective by this association. Oh yeah, I know those headphones. Kara Swisher wears those headphones. Now, before I get in trouble with Kara, I'm not suggesting she's selling headphones by any means. I'm simply taking liberties to make a point about how powerful it can be for a brand to show up in a hyper-relevant way. But there's one rather large obstacle every brand must face: the sheer volume of content being consumed every minute of every day. It begs the question, do you want your brand to be the needle or the haystack? Obviously, you do not want to be the needle. Yet many of the biggest brands listening right now are creating a tiny, tiny fraction of the content needed to hit their audiences on social. The best brands in the influencer game don't rely on only a few influencer relationships with macro influencers. No, they have a more nuanced strategy that utilizes an army of thousands of hyper-relevant micro-influencers, smaller creators with tuned-in followers. These people are telling their own story about the brand in their own content. So how do we get there? How do we own the best parts of the haystack for our brand? First, we need to understand the business problems we're addressing and break it down. Broadly, there are 2 main problems to solve for. First, you need to have content from targeted creators who are optimal for your brand. You've got to work with the right influencers. And you need a lot of content. And secondly, you have to be present at scale in both tentpole and relevant of-the-moment trending moments. You have to be where your people are all the time on social platforms. So let's start with the challenge of content creation at scale. People, your customers, your prospects, spend on average 3 hours a day scrolling through social media. I could reel off a bunch of stats about TikTok and Instagram and YouTube usage, but let's just call it something like 1 billion videos watched per day for TikTok. Now, how many times is your brand showing up in those 1 billion videos a day? Once? 3 times? 10 times? Most likely it's not enough at all. Most companies make a post or 2 a week and call it done. And at the risk of really pushing this haystack metaphor a little too far, that's the needle, and it's really getting lost. Publishing a couple of videos isn't exactly futile, but it isn't as effective as it could be either. To win, you need more videos, and you need a lot more. To win, those videos must also capture attention in the first 3 to 5 seconds. And to win, they must feel relevant to each of your targeted segments. And that's a really, really tall order. So 10 or 20 years ago, your brand probably realized that its marketing strategy of making a pair of TV ads that ran on a major TV network at 8 p.m. was no longer getting the job done. Today, instead of talking about 2 generic commercials, we talk about hyper-targeted content. That is an array of digital assets designed to speak to 10 or more target demographics at once in a truly engaging and entertaining way on 3 or 4 different platforms. And you know, the truth is, and I was a social media manager in a past life, so I know this to be true, it's extremely hard for a brand to create that amount of targeted content. It just is. And second, real-time reaction is key. You have to move fast. How fast? Really, really fast. In all likelihood, your company is probably not moving fast enough. Most companies have their social calendars planned out 2 to 3 weeks ahead. And in addition to those tentpole moments that you know are coming, the NFL draft in Kansas City, Valentine's Day, all of your new product launches, you also have to be part of trending moments in real time too. Okay, so we're moving fast, we're being hyper-targeted with content that's on trend and engaging. This is a good time for a thought experiment. You know your brand, your department, your agency. Is it possible for your team to have 5 social videos that are capitalizing on the top trends in 3 days? How many would land? How many might miss? How many might seem pretty out of touch or weird? Solving this challenge is exactly why I started Obviously. We can do just that. We've created a platform that can leverage the power of creators at scale, their voices, their expertise, their communities. I'll explain how this all works using our amazing client, Ulta Beauty, as an example. So Ulta came to us because they wanted to dominate the beauty industry. And so we put together a strategy where we are creating an army of niche influencers, creators with every shade of skin, every hair type, different professions, different walks of life, different geographies, and a wide range of identities. So how do we get them to social domination? We completely reinvented how they thought about their influencer marketing and content creation. So they're not working with 10 influencers, they're working with 1,000 influencers. We set up a content engine that was targeted, effective, and could turn out a huge volume of high-quality targeted content by working with creators. That content, and we're talking thousands of videos and photos here, is both engaging and relevant. For example, if you're searching for best products for curly hair, it won't really cut it anymore to see a list of products with just curly hair that's written on the bottle. Consumers nowadays have much, much higher expectations. And put yourself in the shoes of the consumer for a second. We expect a fuller, more detailed picture now. We want a 30-second video of how to use this product, set to good music. We want a getting ready with me video a la Alex Earl to go along with it. We want a full makeup tutorial from someone with our hair, eye, and skin color. We want that dermatologist to explain a skincare ingredient in detail, who should use it, and how to apply it. And we can get all of those things by working with creators. To really fire up the content engine, we're running multiple strategies at any given time to reach Ulta's customers. And we're doing it at the right time, in the right way. For example, we've launched the most coveted ambassador program in beauty, the Ulta Beauty Collective, and received thousands of applications each and every year. We choose 25 of the best and most diverse who net tens of millions of organic views annually. We set up a system for quick-turn content, so we have hundreds of influencers who know the brand inside and out, and they're already armed with all the products that they know and love. They can create content in under 48 hours, so we can capitalize on a trend on TikTok or Reels while it's red hot. And contrast that to what a typical brand can do. It could take 2 to 3 weeks. We're actively listening to compare Ulta to its competitors, and we take actions on those insights daily. And then Ulta's using this influencer content in a multitude of perhaps surprising ways. They're using influencer photos in store. They're having meet and greets. We're having focus groups with influencers and surveys to better understand when they launch a brand in their retail store, which one soars and which one falls flat, and why. It's a really, really new approach, but the story doesn't end there. This is a story about relevance and effectiveness. When a search turns up a video of someone relatable, someone that consumers already trust, sharing the best product for curly hair and how to use it, well, the next click is far more likely to get closer to the desired outcome, purchasing said product. This applies to every industry, every vertical. And on any given day, my team is talking to marketers from a wide range of industries: pharma, health, CPG, food and bev. And sometimes they come to us with an okay strategy in mind because they just want to work with big name, large influencers. Maybe they already have an influencer or two in mind, someone who has millions of followers. And our team can show them data, our proprietary benchmarks and predictive analytics to help pinpoint a better strategy that includes working with a mix of creators, micro, mid-tier, all included. These creators that are specific to the brand's product and goals. So in the end, it's by working with those smaller, more niche creators that allows brands to reach 30% more audience for the same cost as working with 2 or 3 macro or celebrity influencers. And the audiences of these smaller creators are simply more hyper-targeted and trusting of the influencer's recommendation because the relationship, the connection to the consumer already exists in a much more genuine way. I mean, great creative commerce isn't just about influencing, it's about inspiring. There are millions of everyday creators out there, people with 1,000 or 10,000 or 50,000 followers who are already publishing some of the most inspiring and relevant content about your brand. Let me help you find them. Thank you.